Hello. Okay, welcome. So in this video we're going to talk about organisms in kingdom Protista. So let's begin. So the last time we met, we said all living things are grouped into three big groups. We call that the three domains. We have number one, domain bacteria, domain archaea, and lastly, domain eukarya. Now these domains are also divided into smaller groups. We call the smaller groups as kingdoms, and there are 6 of them, 6 kingdoms. We have kingdom bacteria, archaea, and in the eukarya we divide them into 4 kingdoms: kingdom Protista, kingdom Plantae, kingdom Fungi, and kingdom Animalia. In this video we're going to look at organisms in kingdom Protista. We're going to look at 4 questions. Number 1 is, what are their characteristics? This is characteristic in Thai. Number 2, how do these organisms reproduce? Number 3, how do they get energy? And number 4, what are some types? So let's start with the first question. What are some characteristics? Number 1 is they are eukaryotes, which means they have nucleus and they have organelles. Most of them live in water, but some of them can live on land. Some of them have one cell, like this euglena and paramecium, and some of them have many cells, like this kelp, which live underwater. It looks like a plant, but it is a kelp. And some of them live together in colony, like these volvox. Okay, you have different cells living together. Number 2, how do they reproduce? And protists can reproduce in different ways. Some of them can reproduce by asexual reproduction. Example, through binary fission or budding. Okay, so number 1 is asexual reproduction, binary fission in amoeba. You can see one amoeba, a parent amoeba, will grow and divide into 2. You have 2 daughter cells. Okay, this is binary fission. Example of budding is the picture on the bottom left, the green things. Okay, the organism will grow and small part will break off and form a new organism. We call this budding. Some of them can reproduce by asexual reproduction. Okay, it means they need 2 organisms to reproduce. An example is this paramecium, 2 of them joining together, and they will change their DNA, mix it up, and form 2 new organisms. Some of them can also reproduce in both ways, sexual and asexual. So how do protists get their food? How do they get their food? Some of them make their own food. We call them autotrophs, like this kelp. Okay, it gets energy from the sun and uses it to make food through photosynthesis. Some of them also eat other organisms. We call them heterotrophs, like this amoeba is eating a paramecium. Some of them can be both. They can be autotrophs or heterotrophs, like euglena. It can get energy from the sun and make food, or it can eat other organisms. And lastly, some of them are decomposers. This is decomposer in Thai, like this slime mold. They can digest the dead plants and animals and absorb the nutrients. The last question we're going to look at is, what are some types of protists? And we have 3 types. Some of the protists look like animals, so we group them in one. We call them animal-like protists. They look like animals. Some of them look like plants, so we call them plant-like protists. And some of them look like fungi, so we call them fungus-like protists. But let's look at some examples of each group. So the animal-like protists, we also call them protozoa. And they can move in different ways. Okay, we group them according to the way they move. The first group is called flagellates, like this euglena, because they move with the flagella, okay, the tail. The second group is called ciliates, because they move with this small hair, which we call cilia. Okay, these are cilia. And lastly, we have pseudopods, okay, because like amoeba, they move with this, it's like the foot, okay, F-O-O-T, foot. It's not a foot, but it's like a foot where they used to move slowly, like in amoeba. We call that pseudopodia. Now, it's very important to know that some of these animal-like protists can cause many problems for people, like diseases. Example of a disease by animal-like protist is malaria. The protist which causes malaria is this plasmodium. It lives inside a mosquito. So if a mosquito bites you, it will put the plasmodium inside your body, can cause malaria. Another disease is called the sleeping sickness, which is caused by the protist trypanosoma. It lives inside this insect we call sisafly. Again, when it bites you, it will put the trypanosoma in your body and you have this disease. Now, let's look at the plant-like protists. We also call them algae. And because they are plant-like, they can make their own food by photosynthesis. They do not have roots, they do not have leaves and stems, okay? They just look like plants. Example, we have euglenoids, which look like euglena, okay, this organism here, okay? They can sometimes move with their flagella, the tail. Number 2, we have dinoflagellates. Okay, this is a picture of a dinoflagellate, and they are very important for the food chain in the ocean. Okay, so in this picture, on the top right, you can see dinoflagellates can become food for smaller organisms, and these organisms will become food for some fish, and the fish can become food for people. Okay, they are very important for the food chain. Lastly, we have diatoms, and diatoms have different shapes, very beautiful shapes, like you can see over here, and their body or shells are made of glass, the same compound made of glass. The last type of protists are the fungi-like protists. They look like fungi and they are decomposers. Examples are slime mold, and here are pictures of slime molds. So, in summary, kingdom Protista, organisms in kingdom Protista are eukaryotes. They have nucleus and organelles. Some of them can reproduce by sexual means, asexually, or both. And some of them can make their own food, some of them can eat other organisms, and some of them are both. They can make their own food or eat other organisms, and some of them are decomposers. And lastly, there are 3 types of them. Some of them are animal-like, some of them are plant-like, and some of them are fungi-like. And here are examples. Okay, I hope this is helpful. Thank you very much for listening.